That's what I really have trouble understanding when perfection is not real. You're not going to be able to have everything lined up in such a perfect way so that when you come out, everything's grand. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Aydian here, and the theme of what just happened for the last 4 minutes of me trying to get my image very clear and perfect is perfect for today's topic, which is the concept of waiting for things to be perfect before you start living your authentic self. In this case, coming out, transitioning, living as your true self. And I want to just say, you don't have to wait, first of all. And there are ways in which you can go about your transition and start living more authentically, even if it's small little degrees, without, just coming out and starting hormones and getting surgery and changing everything all at once. You can start in little increments. And if you have followed along on this channel, and if you haven't, you should go back and check out my whole transition, because, it took years, right? So, I'll use me as an example. So, I came out online before I came out to anyone. That was one way that I can start living authentically without other people knowing. Now, I understand that online now is much different from 2009, but it was still a way for me to do that. I started thinking about my name before I was told anyone I was trans, right? I started dressing more masculine the way I always wanted to all the time instead of just every now and then, without telling anyone I was exploring my gender identity. I also, started working out because I knew that my body, when I looked in the mirror, I was like, this body does not align. Something ain't right. And so I started going to the gym. I didn't tell people I'm going to the gym to masculinize my body. That wasn't something I said. I just started doing things for me. I started researching transitioning for me. I started researching working out for me, right? And all of these little things help me feel a little more authentic to who I truly am without having to come out to my parents right away and start hormones and, get surgeries. I knew that I wanted those things, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get them. And I knew that the timing, right, waiting for the perfect time, if I hadn't ever looked at myself in the mirror and said, I'm a transgender man, how was I going to look at my mom in the eyes and say that to her, right? And so also practicing, right? I came out to my friends first, right? So often, I'm bringing this up because so often I get DMs and people are just like, oh, Aydian, I just feel like the time isn't right. And that could be true. The time could not be right for you to come out, or it could not be the right time for you to start hormones. But the time is always right to start living your authentic truth, right? The time is always right for you to start exploring your identity and finding things that you feel more like a representation of who you truly are. That time is always, it is always that time. It is never not that time. I get DMs from 40, 50-year-olds who say, oh, I'm just too old, now it's not the time, I missed my window. It's no, you didn't miss any windows. The window is always there. The opportunity to be who you truly are is always there. Always. What degree, right? So using that metaphor, how open is the window? Sometimes the window, there's no glass there, you can just run right through that thing, right? Other times it's open just a crack. Sometimes it's open halfway, right? So there's different opportunities. So again, I didn't just come out, right? I started small. I started looking up my name before people knew, right? I started, I went to Starbucks and used different names to see how they felt before I told anyone. I used the men's room at a Starbucks, and I'm only throwing Starbucks in there because I knew that it was a coffee shop that I was going to call whatever name I told them. And I also knew that they have single stall bathrooms. They always have, and I've always loved them for that specific reason. And I did these things, not necessarily waiting before I was completely out to try these things on, right? So things weren't ever perfect, and they don't have to be for you to take that leap. Screw a leap, like just a step, just an inch, right? Just to make yourself feel better. I just feel for all of you who feel like you can't do anything. There are things we can do. We can come out online in safe places. We can go to Reddits and different forums and groups, private groups on Facebook. We can make accounts on Instagram, on YouTube, start talking about these things. And I think the difference is that, like, you need to do it for yourself. You need to do it because you feel like you are longing to be who you truly are. And again, time not being right, totally okay and very true. But waiting for things to be perfect, that's what I really have trouble understanding when perfection is not real. You're not going to be able to have everything lined up in such a perfect way so that when you come out, everything's grand. Or so that when you start hormones, it's all going to be smooth sailing. Because there's going to be up and downs throughout the whole transition process. Even now, right? Like, I'm on T 11 years, I think, coming on 12 years. It's still a process. There's still ups and downs. It's not just smooth sailing. And so the illusion of perfection, get it out of here. Start now, start today. Do small little things that make you feel more authentic in your body, more in tune with who you are, to relieve some dysphoria too. And again, like, it doesn't have to be big grand gestures. It can literally just be Googling names, writing them on a piece of paper, putting them in your phone, trying them on. Go to a coffee shop. Have them call out a name that you're thinking about. How does it feel? What does it feel like? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Does it feel like you? Maybe go through your clothes. Like, maybe there's some clothes you can go out there and purchase that's going to make you feel better about who you are. And you don't have to, like, you don't have to tell everyone. You don't have to, put yourself out there in such a way that you don't feel comfortable. Like, you can just be who you are and experiment in the privacy of your own space. And so this is my long drawn out way of saying, perfection is an illusion. Do what you can, take small steps to make yourself feel better, because then you'll realize that you know when the perfect time is. It's something that you wake up one day and you go, it has to be done. This is it. Like, I'm at the end of the road. This is the time. Alright, so I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to start something that I've been trying to get perfect before it's ready, and that is my newsletter. So if you want to join my newsletter, hit the link in the description box below. While you're down there, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the like button if you are somebody who is so sick of waiting for that perfection to occur and just wants to go and start living authentically. Smash that like button. If you want to follow along on my journey and you haven't seen the last 10 plus years here on YouTube, see where I started, go check it out. You'll literally see and follow along with how I took little steps that got me to where I am today. And I encourage you to do the same. Alright everyone, catch you in the next video. Peace.